If you're a fan of superheroes and you're a fan of cartoons that are based on comics, you know that there's one iconic animated series that pretty much changed the game for everything. Still arguably the best comic to cartoon adaptation ever, Batman the Animated Series is nothing short of brilliant. But here's 5 things I bet you didn't know about it.
That's my cue!
Did you know that Mark Hamill was not the first choice to voice the Joker?
It's never easy with the Joker.
In fact, another actor had already been cast and had been recording episodes, and that actor is none other than the original Pennywise himself, Tim Curry. Apparently, one of the producers on the show wasn't happy with Curry's performance, and though others involved fought to keep him, in the end it was decided to let him go.
Anyone else want to go?
Shortly after, Mark Hamill stepped in and the rest is history. They've actually released some of the recordings that Curry did before he left the role, and it is interesting to compare his take to Hamill's.
Hey, Batman! You stink so bad I can smell you from here! You!
Hey, Batman! You stink so bad, I can smell you from here! Pew! Pew, pew!
In the end, despite the fact that Curry is a great actor, you just can't touch Mark Hamill's Joker.
Oh, thank you very much!
You know, the recording process with the actors for this show was unlike most other cartoons of the time. Most other animated shows would bring in actors at separate times to record separate lines, but with Batman, they actually brought everyone in the room together and had them perform basically as a troupe.
Good idea.
Another fun fact is that everyone in the group would sit when they were recording their lines, other than Mark Hamill, who insisted on standing because it helped him find the energy he needed for his Joker. Do you know that there are 2 major creative inventions that started on Batman the Animated Series and quickly became canon not just in the comics but in the movies? The first is the invention of the character Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn, pleased to meet ya. Enchanty.
Harley Quinn was originally intended as a one-off character, but she proved so popular that not only did she become a staple of the series, but she was quickly added to the comics, and as we all know, both Margot Robbie and Lady Gaga have brought her to life on the big screen.
That's a real gasser, huh, Mr. J?
The other original invention that carried over into the comics and the films was the origin story of Mr. Freeze.
I failed you. I wish there were another way for me to say it.
The tragic story of a scientist trying to save the life of his wife was found to be so compelling to fans and audiences that it quickly became canon.
It would move me to tears if I still had tears to shed.
Do you know that the Riddler actually makes far fewer appearances on the show than Batman's other most popular villains?
Whatever are you talking about?
The reason is that the writers found him hard to write for and felt that his storylines often made the plots just overcomplicated.
But you probably won't figure that out until it's too late.
Do you know that when they were developing the look for the Penguin in the animated series, Warner Brothers insisted that they base the look on Danny DeVito's more deformed character from Batman Returns, right down to his flipper hands.
A child who was born a little different.
The only challenge was that Batman Returns was actually still in production when they were developing the cartoon. Action! So people from the series had to go to the actual set to sketch the look of the character. And given that it was probably the most anticipated movie of the year, it was a very, very high security situation, and there was a lot of concern about leaks. They actually based Catwoman on the movie as well, making her hair blonde in the cartoon as opposed to its traditional brown from the comic books. Ultimately, when the show was revamped as The New Adventures of Batman, the looks of both characters would revert back to that of the original comics.
Well, that was fun. Who's for Chinese?